I think Brad said it'll wait 2 or 3 years, but I don't think that's going.
Only bills in
The house department.
Oh, this guy.
You gotta wait till the other two strike.
This meeting got slow quick.
Okay, I know you will always on.
All right, we have exited an executive session. Inside executive session, there was no polling or voting done, only the providing of information. At this point in time, do I have a motion to exit executive session?
Motion to exit.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Flood, second by Councilperson Rutherford to exit. All those agreed, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. We are now out of executive session. After being in executive session and hearing this information, is there a motion that council would like to make related to the reason we went behind, which is emergency repair assistance to the town of Carlisle?
I'll make a motion that we commit up to $75,000 to repair the water system in Carlisle, but this be contingent on the city of Carlisle doing some planning to decide what they're going to do with their system. This would be a one-time only assistance program.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Flood, and I'm not going to try to repeat that motion. I have a second from Councilman Flood, and the funding source would be from the multi-county industrial park account. I have a motion and a second. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. And it is unanimous. All right, we haven't had any committee reports, but in the supervisor's report, I'm kind of jumping ahead of it. If you'll look into the additional projects side of your supervisor's report,
Hang on a minute.
this is on page 13. I included proposed FY 2006-2007 budget workshop schedule. This is just a proposal to y'all. And if you don't mind, please take a look at it. We definitely can adjust and amend this as necessary, whether in this meeting or in a future meeting of February and March.
You said on page what?
Page 13.
Why is that not coming up?
Is it
Close.
your report or the other report?
here it is.
Closer down towards the bottom.
Down towards the bottom, page
It's
13.
after like, did the math, didn't vote.
McKinney?
You just got
But
to scroll.
the,
You just got to scroll. Go all the way to the bottom and go back up just a bit.
Okay, that's what it is.
it's just 16 pages.
Okay.
This is this report.
It's more than 13 for sure.
I'll present, my proposal is I'll present a budget to you on April the 7th. You'll have first reading on council meeting of April the 14th. Outside agencies would present to Finance Committee on the 21st. Finance Committee budget work session on the 28th. Council will have second reading on the 12th. And then you will notice that there are 3 starred potential Finance Committee budget work sessions if needed, the 19th and 26th of May, the 2nd of June, and that on the 16th of June, we would have third reading. The only thing that I did last year worked really well is that when I present the budget, I will also ask our elected officials to be present so they can hear and have input on their sections as well. So, and it worked good last year. I'm not saying we have to use all of those meetings, but I wanted to make sure we had them identified for your planning purposes. Are there any other calls for committees? And moving over to the supervisor's report, and I know y'all can read over most of this at your leisure. However, there's a lot of information in it. I will like to stop at the finance section. In our 2004-2005 budget surplus, we have an unaudited rollover of about $2.4 million. That means we saved $2.4 million in the budget that was, and most of this funds came from fees that the county received, specific or especially related to that were tipping fees from Republic Landfill. It was very good to have that reserve and that amount come in. I will also say that based on our budget ordinance, automatically $500,000 of any overage goes into our fund balance, and anything left over goes into council capital for purposes or use deemed by council. So project-wise, we are moving really right along and right ahead on a lot of our projects. Of course, the jail edition, as I announced last month, is operating. We just did the resolutions to dispose of property, and we'll begin to market them very promptly. Our 911 radio upgrades, we actually have all of that committed. We actually have materials coming in. Again, we expect the mobile radios to be installed in apparatus between March and April of this coming year. Our staff have their heart monitors. Buffalo Mill Pond improvement. The pond has been dredged, it's cleaned out, and they're working on slope. They're putting riprap around the pond, what they're doing, making sure that they don't have any slope, if you will, or slop going back into the pond. So we'll stop some of that drainage. The project is proceeding to plan and is looking well. Buffalo Mill property and the Langley Dry Cleaners, both the City of Union and Union County have been awarded our CBDG funds for the project, and our COG is managing those. Wallace Thompson Hospital property, actually that was one that was on the list to begin to market, but also we are still working on legal transfer from our lawyer's office so we can have the temporary hospital district committee pulled together so that we can have them vote to transfer that property into Union County now.
How much money do we have left to sustain that place?
We probably, I'm going to say in excess of $300,000, but it's still costing us somewhere in the neighborhood of about $25,000 to $28,000 a month in utility bills. What we will do is, and we do have a commercial broker. I've talked to some local brokers here and some commercial brokers. We do have a commercial broker that I will sign a intent to lock him into 6 months on to begin to market this. He's very motivated. We've met with him about 4 or 5 times, and he feels like that he has some interested parties that may be interested in this facility, specific to the needs of workforce and student housing. So we're very excited to see what he's going to come up with, and we'll work hard with him. The others will be done more of a local developer or a broker. The 2 lots that we have in Buffalo, and maybe even 3, even including the Union Mill, we're working on some alternative type of marketing of that property. I just don't want to sell the property. I would rather see us work with our local builders and have them do an RFI, if you will, that would allow them to come in and make a presentation to council and say, look, if you will give me this property, in 18 months, I'll put a house on it. Not a mobile home, not a shed, not a storage garage, but to put a brick and mortar home on that facility. And if they can do that, then we can turn around and give them a lot. But I think it's going to be creating a committee of council using the property committee and let them making that presentation to them. I think it would work really well, and I think that our builders would appreciate that because they're looking to build a home. We know we need homes in Union, and what better way to improve a subdivision than go that route?
Do we have any say so who the hospital is sold to?
Do we have?
In the final
say so?
vote, you will.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Yes, council will have to approve it. As county property, what you will have is you'll have to approve 3 ordinances. They have to be read 3 times in ordinance, and as well as having a public hearing on it.
And then this one in 12 months, we'll have to
Well, and I tell you, that's about right. So, but the other 2 buildings we were using, and I apologize on the addresses, I'm gonna be a little bit slow on them, but 322 is the hospital, 323 is a doctor's office. That's going to be converted into space for the VA. There is a house at 319. It will be marketed and sold. The 419 building, which was the old pediatrics office, also known as the skeletal skating rink, that will be converted into voter registration and to the public works office. This allows us to begin to market the 1241 South bypass, which is the Chrysler building. Go ahead and market it so we can get it back on the tax bills. The new animal shelter, we're waiting on, there were some changes made to some plans, and we're waiting on those plans to come back, final construction documents. We're ready to go to bid so I can report back to council what that amount is going to be. I'm just waiting on those construction documents to come in. So we're hoping that happens sometime within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The Timken Sports Complex, we're just waiting on the building, the building layouts, the inside and outside, the architectural renderings, how it will be used. Once that's done, then I will actually sit down with council probably as we're going through our budget process and see when you may be comfortable to enter into some type of bidding process with it. It's probably going to be a construction management at risk situation where you get a builder involved very early with you so we can begin to look at efficiencies and begin to look at product and quality That way the builder can say, hey, I can do this just as good with just as good material with this product versus the product that your architect can spec. In other words, it allows the architect, the engineers, and us as council to have some say-so on what the building looks like at the end of the day and what savings we may be able to get out of that. But again, we'll probably enter into that as we're going through some of our budget workshop. The courthouse facility, the TPM roof replacement is completed. We're just waiting now on March or April and warm weather to get here so we can put a top on the Stephanie's courthouse building over there and stop it from leaking. Not our courthouse. The Cross Keys Community Park, the playground materials ordered. We're ready to repave the walking trail and the basketball court just as soon as the asphalt plants open up. We've got some trees we need to take down, and our staff are working on this plan as we speak. To add to that, also, we're planning to install playground equipment that will be new to the town of Lockhart. It was repurposed playground equipment from the old high school that is going to be relocated into the city park of Lockhart. That material was given to Lockhart, and Lockhart asked for our help to install it, and we're going to help them do that. So that should all happen around the same time.
Philip, slow down just a minute.
Yes, sir.
You talked about Cross Keys. You talked about the property in JRM Rec Road?
That is correct.
Thank you. No further.
That's correct. Where the ballpark is. The fiber project's complete. We're waiting on switches to come in, and our staff's working on providing us with our spring county cleanup days. We try to do 3 or 4 of those in the spring and in the fall, and we're trying to get those dates together. Those cleanup days have worked really, really well. The problem has been we've been slacking on some of our outside support, and any volunteer groups that would like to participate in these, they are all on a Friday, and we feed lunch after it's over with at Timpkin Park, and we would love to have as many people as we could have join us and help us. So, are there any operational questions from council? Hearing none. Elected officials, I got Miss Debbie, and I got Stephanie.
Everything's rolling in, everybody's trying to be Friday, first penalty goes on, but I do want to remind everybody about the postal situation. It's a law, it's not postmarked that day. It's either 2 or 3 days it has to go to Greenville. So we honor postmark, we don't honor the date on the check.
So in hearing what our treasurer's saying is, get it in the mail if you're gonna pay, because it may take 2 or 3 days before it gets postmarked in green. Madam Clerk?
I'll say again, thank y'all for approving the renovation of the roof, and it's been wonderful. Knowing that the past couple of weeks since they finished that, we don't have to worry if it rains that everything's going to be leaking. And we are excited about the dome being replaced because it's absolutely going to be beautiful when it's done. And the last thing is, we want to say thank you to all the citizens that came out for our open house that we did for Christmas, our cookies and hot chocolate. We enjoyed it and had a lot of good feedback on that. I look forward to all of the council and elected officials and all of Union County coming next year for that.
Do I have any council member announcements?
Just a item that I want added next month, which is we need to codify the ability to call in to council meetings since we don't have any paperwork that says that's legal. We need to discuss it and decide what we're going to do. We
actually have some feedback from our attorney on that same thing. We have been discussing, that's the reason it's not been on our agenda presently. We want to make sure that, is this going to be allowed by state requirement? So we wanted to make sure, that's the reason why we haven't done it. We've been waiting on that feedback from our attorneys. But good point. Well, if there's nothing else for council, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I have a motion from Councilperson Smith, second by Vice Chair Sinclair. And if all of y'all agree